Have I completely lost my mind? That was my first thought. Wouldn't anyone? I realized that I was standing exactly on the landscape depicted in the book. The book brought me here. Now I had to figure out how to get back. On the other pages, there were countless of my grandfather's notes and sketches. Based on the first few notes, it appeared he was a bit more informed about the workings of this book. Thankfully for me, he wrote down a lot of it. The first thing I learned was a rough indication as to how old this book must have been. This book was made long before any known recorded history, dating back to before the times of the Egyptians, Greek, Norse, you name it. This civilization called itself the Dunni. It took me a couple of tries to pronounce that, but the Dunni were the ones who made these books. And even though there isn't anything on these pages apart from my grandfather's notes, these worlds were written. According to my grandfather, an able writer could create a whole world just by describing it. But the Dunni's power of description stretches far beyond that of any other known civilization that ever existed. These people were master writers, gaining limitless, almost godlike powers purely through writing. Somehow this civilization came to an abrupt end, and no Dunni could be traced back into the current world. All that power just gone without a trace. My grandfather traveled a lot through these books. He didn't even dare to guess the amount of books the Dunni might have created, and even speculated the civilization's disappearance was possibly because they became too greedy and ultimately grew extinct, trying to gain more power. I must have spent hours reading while walking through the wasteland, and there were no hints in the book as to how to get home, so I was starting to worry. Then something strange happened.
Grandfather?
I don't know whether this was a hallucination, a vivid fantasy, or an actual appearance, but there was my grandfather, walking as if he was back in his 20s. However, in this land, everyone's journey is his own.
The rising of the sun, the setting on the one. A glimmer of hope grants you a peek. Peek into the journey, the exit you seek. The rising of the sun. Well, it's past noon.
Unholy number 5. Apparently I need to only speak it to activate this thing. 5. Garish.
Well, it's not home yet.
The journey home is what you sought. Your desired destination is what you brought. Keep in mind and you will find. This book will take you there. Note to self, bring a lunchbox and a sleeping bag next time.